And when I finally realized that I didn't live this sheltered life that I was scripted to believe, it took some processing, and when it processed, I finally came to the conclusion, I know what it's like to want to die. I have no clue what it's like to want to live. And I'll tell you what, I've been fighting to live ever since, and it's a brutal journey. Things keep cropping up that try to take my life, including trailer breaks going out down a mountain, you know. It does something to a person when you're facing the bottom of that mountain. But my challenge to you guys is most of the people in here are suffering really severe depression of one kind or another, or feel hopeless in certain changes in their life. And the challenge I want to present to you is, you know what it's like to live depressed. You know what it's like to be hopeless. You know what it's like to be just getting through another day, maybe having suicide attempts like I had. But have you ever thought about what it would feel like to actually want to live, to have a life wish instead of a death wish? So my challenge to you guys, something that I'm hoping you'll add to your post now that I'm being very, that sounds very egotistical, but right now I just feel I need to get it out there, is start writing down things, not only for like what you envision for yourself, but add that to your life wish. Like, what is your life wish? What do you want to do with your life? If you have 30 days to live, what are you going to do for the next 30 days? Because you don't know. Time is short, and it's too short to stay in the depression. It's too short to stay not being able to have that gratitude for every day that you have. So what do you want for your life wish? And that leads right into the vision you have for the future. And you got to start with the simple things and work your way out. I have a vision that I'm hoping for in 3 years, and now that I'm in this program, holy cow. I mean, Jess and Kathryn have been challenging my visions for the last 18 months, however long I've been in Kathryn's program. And I thought I was headed this way, but there's like this whole broad spectrum out there that now I have to go, okay, well, this is a part of it, but is that it? I never thought I'd use my voice in my vision. I always was going to be the silent one in the background and just helping my little groups of people or whatever on the sidelines. And here they're challenging me to be front and center with stuff. So, you know, I have my vision. I have my goals. I know where I want to be in 3 years. God willing, I can figure out what's going on with me so I can make it that far. But yeah, I want you guys to think about, what is your life wish? Stop thinking about the slump and the depression and like feeling like you're never going to get out of it, because you'll never get out of it if you think that way, and start building a life wish.
Thank you, Serenity. No, thank you, Serenity. This is just a different way for those of you who missed what I said. Those of you who missed some of the last calls. It's a different way to look at things. She's describing exits on the road from where you are now, from where you want to be. You can take those exits. You can take a stop on the rest stop. You can end your life. Or you can create the life you want, starting with the vision. She's talking about a 3-year goal. That sounds like it's easier for her to think 3 years. I like to look all the way to the end. You know, if you looked at the vision on my phone, one of them shows, Christ. It shows speaking in front of audience so big I can't even comprehend. Right? It shows my home. I don't need to put my family on there. I already have it. How many of you guys put your family on your phone as your desktop? If you don't have your family, it should be part of it, but it should not be the only part of your vision. What she's realizing right now is the obligation that I just described. She's realizing she can step out and share more, that she's supposed to do more.
And I wouldn't have gotten this far if I didn't start having a life wish.
That's right.
Because the life wish is the motivation to get where you want to be. It's the gasoline.
100%. Let me put this into another perspective since she's using the term wish, life wish. We've all heard of a genie and you rub the lamp and you get to make 3 wishes. How many of you guys would say something like, I want a lot of money? See, most of you can't look beyond because you want, I'll even put that in the baseline normal category, even though it's not baseline normal to have a lot of money, okay? But you're talking about fixing a problem by just like filling a hole. Where's the mountain, man? You were negative, now we're neutral. Can we please be positive? Can we please create the life we want? What are you doing on the top of the mountain would be a better picture than just the mountain. You guys feel me here? That's what she's describing with life wish. You got to get specific. You have to start to understand what it is you want. And what she I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but what she's describing is those of you who can't figure out the vision, you can't figure out a why, you're stuck in a rut thinking about the problems of what you don't have instead of adding and subtracting to get what you do have or what you do want.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
Did anybody else have a vision? Did anybody else figure this out?
Just a second, Bob.
Okay, so you guys have some work to do.
I'm coming. Just a second.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Well, I've been doing my purpose calls, and so I wrote out my mission statement for what I want to do and what I want to go for my purpose and how that's going to lead to everything I do with momentum, working with you, mentoring, all that stuff. And so I'm still working on it, but this is kind of my baseline mission statement to always orient me on where I want to go and what I should be doing. And it's leading men to strengthen their minds, bodies, and spirits to become the husbands, fathers, and warriors the world needs.
I like it. Now, do you know the difference between a mission and a vision? The statement?
Maybe not.
So the vision would be the outcome. So now you need to do a little bit of work on the outcome. What happens when you follow your mission, you fulfill your purpose?
I think the vision looks like if you were going to ask me, I've been thinking about this, doing some of the training we've been doing, and what my 5-year vision looks like, it's running a program where I'm helping fathers and sons to connect spiritually with their masculinity, some involving retreats and going out into the wilderness and having really getting that bond together, but also giving a chance for those boys to go through a rite of passage to become men and doing it with their fathers so that we can transition them from a kid to a man and give them the values that they need to do so they can be the men that the world needs.
Okay, hold on. So you're describing your company, okay? Which is okay. Company needs a vision, but what's the outcome? What do those young men now have because of the opportunity to do a walkabout, let's say, with their father, right? What is happening? So guys, when you're thinking about your vision, the reason why I don't like 3 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, that's good for you sometimes to set goals and figure things out. But if you know the full vision, you can start to create the full picture. I'm going to give you an example, okay? In order to do that, it's going to make more sense that you and your son are there together at some point, which means you already have the relationship skills. You're in my program, right? But you're going to what? What else do you need? You need a wife. So what are you doing? What else adds and subtracts? Are you going somewhere where you can meet women? That's not the bar because you know you value health already. You know what you look like when you're older, right? You know you want to meet a quality woman for your maturity, your relationship, whatever. So what are you doing? What are your hobbies, habits, rituals to create a marriage, a family? Makes sense that you're teaching this and knowing the outcome of that at the end. That's what I want you to think of. All the other stuff you're good at. You're good at the the steps to get there, but go to the bigger picture and think about the steps that you're missing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it does. It does a lot. And I guess if you really get down to it, my bigger vision, like what I really want to have the impact in the world is men are declining in the faith more rapidly than ever. And I want to reverse that trend. I want men to start joining the church in mass numbers. I want men to start becoming leaders in the spiritual community as they should be and not running away from it, and reversing a trend that's been really since the 50s and the loss of men in the church and it being predominantly women in the Christian church in America now.
Okay, so if you know all that, then you can start to hone in on what needs to be done for that. And then look at the outcome of what it is. Dive just even deeper. Remember I talked about the hole, filling the holes, baseline normals, where people try to get out of the hole, right? Now you got to think about the mountain. I think that's where you are. What's standing on top of the mountain? What are you doing up there, right? And then from there, you'll know clearly. So when you have all these, I'm going to say young men, spiritual leaders, because they've been through this program, their fathers also become spiritual leaders. What does that look like? Why are we doing that? What's the cost? I said to you guys the other day on a call, and I talked to a few of you privately about it, but I was like, okay, we hear about the book of Revelations. Is it not possible that God wants his family, his people, to actually survive and not die? Isn't that possible that that's there to scare us so that he can see us thrive and grow and prevent that from happening? Well, fuck, man, if I'm you, I'm thinking that's what you need to be thinking of. You know what I mean? Go save the world. Don't just coast until we all go. Now, I don't know the Bible well enough to know if it's clear, it's end, or if there's opportunity to delay, or if there's opportunity to overturn. I don't know it. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you can teach me. That's the point. Find it. And maybe that's not the point. I mean, what I mean is find your vision that way. What do I want to do with what I'm doing? You all start with things that you're struggling with. And the impacts that you're trying to make is because you're owning the fact that you've overcome something, or you're documenting it on the way. You know, we're going to be doing that with our tragedy here. It's the advice we were given. We're going to think about it a little bit more. That's a brand new one for us to navigate, to share, to help people through. The other stuff is stuff we've already been through. You'll all have the same sort of opportunity. Okay? But start to get clear. I want to reiterate this. You already do this to crush your dreams. You already do this all day long, in and out, standing by the water cooler, wasting a bunch of time doing nothing. Scrolling on your phone, playing video games, having another drink, bitching and complaining, talking to the wrong people, not asking the right questions, and then blaming somebody for buying the wrong product. You already all do it. We all do, until we check ourselves and start doing the work to make sure we go the other way. Is this clear, guys? Is this making sense? Good. Anybody have any questions or something they want to bring up? I'm going to pull on James because I know James has a bunch of his mind is spinning in the last few days. So James, why don't you pop on and give us a little bit of your vision? I know you have one. I know you're just being shy. You like to hide in the chat. Get out of your comfort zone, man.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, I'm a Gen Xer. We can chat. No, I had therapy today. I still see my therapist, and I think I'm going to see her in 2 weeks, and I'm going to cut her loose. It's been almost 2 years. Been very helpful, but she focused on some things today. You know, when I'm giving some direction, and I'm telling her where I'm going and some stuff. Well, what about this? And what about your needs? And what about you know, having self-empathy? And I'm like, Dr. Kalins, you know, you're right. And I've learned these things. but there's something you don't understand, you can't hear that I'm trying to say. And basically, I'm sticking with my commitment. I'm sticking with my focus, with my future, with my vision. And you know, I was just listening to Serenity and what she was saying there, and this is just sort of what's been on my mind. A couple of things that, you know, what she said, what you said, Serenity, is power. It's not just powerful, it's power, because what you've done is you said, I know what it's like to want to die, but I have no idea what it's like to want to live. And when you tell that story, when you say that to people, I don't know that there's a soul in this world who's in their middle age, 30 up, who hasn't had that. And they're going to go, well, what's the answer? And you're going to say, start building a life wish. I don't want this anymore. I want this. And so, I mean, that's my vision. That's what I want to see. I mean, I took the moniker 2 years ago, the Slayer of Sadness and the Stormer of Brains, because I just try to nail down two things that I'm always doing. And those are the things that I'm always doing, whether it's in the church, whether it's at home, whether it's in the community, whether it's for the clients or whatever. And you know, Stephen, listening to your story, I'm going, wow, what man doesn't want that? What man doesn't want to embrace that? That's the beginning of an epic novel, which is your life. You are qualified to tell your story because it's your story. And, you know, I was told recently that something that I'm passionate about, I should keep my mouth shut because it doesn't relate to me. But it's the passion that I have related to the context of that space. And I'm not going to let someone tell me what I can and can't speak about concerning my thoughts and feelings. And so, you know, as far as vision, I mean, I take more notes in these conversations, in these calls than I do think. But I mean, I don't even know where to begin with my vision, because it would take hours just to
That's
get started.
probably true.
But
I know you. It would probably, but that's okay, because I'm gonna abuse and use you, dude, to change the world.
clue of helping other people embrace theirs.
Well, I really like that a lot. I really like that a lot. You know, I've asked that you join Dennis and a few others, but Dennis is really heading up the Christian version of everything, the anointed version, and I've asked that you join with that because you've got a particular set of skills. You know, I like to use the Liam Neeson line from the movie Taken. Particular set of skills, and yeah. But I can't stress this enough, guys. That little wish, that I'm calling a little wish because I don't want it to intimidate you. It's just a little wish. It's the thing you don't like. Wish for yourself to just do the thing that will give you the thing that you want. Wish for the thing that will take away. And then figure out what that is. It's not actually a wish. It's just you getting up, getting off your ass, getting out of your comfort zone, and getting to fucking work. That's it. That's all it is. You know, Steve used the reference of $100,000 a month. Yeah, you don't just make $100,000 a month as a coach. You don't. But what you do need? You need to be learning to be the coach. Whoa, you can't do that if you haven't learned how to share your story. You can't do that if nobody cares who you are and wants to hear your story. So you just start momentum. And I'm just breaking that down super simple. But you start adding all of these things in. But you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, all right, I made my first sale. Oh, well, why did Cass and Kathryn have apps? Because we wanted to be different than everybody else. Why are we going to run 24/7 Zooms? Because we want crisis handled when it needs to be handled. All you know is this. Sorry guys. Sorry, that's just me. I get aggressive. I'm passionate. I pound the table.
Sounds like someone's knocking at the door.
Sounds like someone's knocking at the door.
Tax dogs on the loose.
But you guys, you just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. When you start to get more clear, this, by the way, guys, is like working out and muscle memory. You just don't know how because you don't do it. You're used to you strengthen the wrong muscles. You're working out the negative side. You're working out the side that wants to take the exit, the easy way, the comfort, the complacency, the side that goes, I'm ready for a break. But once you realize you're just going to work a different set of muscles, instead of the front of the arm, the back of the arm. We're going to build that up and balance you out. Pretty soon, you have a balanced body. Now, forget what we're working. We're just moving. We're just moving. We're moving. We're moving. I love it. Who has any questions? Oh, wait, hold on. My husband refuses to associate. I kind of disagree with the whole associate with the gossipers and backbiters of like there's a tolerance level that you can have, because if you get a healthy fix of drama, negative emotion, you can flip it, right? But I would prefer to do it other ways, and as long as it doesn't spin into your relationship. But all right, okay, guys.
That was to do with the masculine Christianity. You know, that's excuses that I've heard before is why men don't go to church is because people gossip and they're backbiters, and like, what's the point of being there? So
Yeah, okay, but see that right there is an exit off the road.
turning that around.
That's an exit off the road. Okay, if you
Right, the men we're talking about turning around, that must be masculine Christianity, and I'm like, please do.
well, yes, that's right. And the reason why it's important, so she's referencing Dennis's vision, is because everyone else is taking the exit off the road. What's one of the common things we hear? Oh, Christians are hypocrites. Well, actually, the frame is different. It's they don't understand. How can I teach them? How do I love like Jesus? If you're supposed to be somebody who cares, and if you're not Christian and you're using that line, you have no business talking about it. You're just talking about somebody with something that you don't agree with, and they're talking about somebody with values they don't follow. That's the truth. You're talking about core values. But you probably don't have a clear vision if you waste time bitching about someone else. It's ridiculous. Think about it. Think about my social media feed being inundated to all of you, okay? If you didn't have issues in your relationship, you wouldn't see it. So why are you wasting time complaining on it if it doesn't affect you? I'll give you an example. If you're defending yourself going, oh, yeah, my spouse does this, blah, blah, blah. You know, I never do. Well, then you literally need to go watch other content because it's probably going to resonate with you because you're defending yourself. So if you waste time on anything, that's the point of add and subtract. Constantly say to yourself, now, if I'm struggling with this, why? What can I do differently? Do I add and subtract? Right now, you all have a new ad. Write down my vision. Set an alarm on your phone to look at your vision. Think about your vision every single day. Make it one of the first things you do in the morning, maybe over a cup of coffee. What does it look like? You must know. And this whole time I've been really, I'll use the word patient, if you know me. We'll say I was being patient, okay? Letting you guys think about things. Now I want to push it. Ideally, I would like to take this next 30 days to where we can start creating PDFs or something to sell. A call to action at least, right? You guys, almost all of you want to do more. And you should be thinking about more after talking today, right? So we need to get more clear on communicating the struggles. This struggles, you heard me, this struggles. Okay? Who's with me? Good. I am in a crisis with my wife due to the insecurities and negative visioning that you described at the beginning of the call. Do you have any tips for avoiding trying to drink the ocean? Oh, yeah, listen, honestly, you start following through and filling your cup. So your iPhone, I don't know how long you've been on here because your name's iPhone and you're not on the camera. But here's the thing. Wait, it's Zach. Okay, so just start at the beginning of this program and just start filling. I was talking to, I don't know if it was on this call also, but I was talking to somebody earlier for sure. What's the fastest way to cure depression? Oh, it was a one-on-one call. What's the fastest way to cure depression? You know, a lot of people will say medically, like pills. Many people that come from my background would say working out, eating right. And then there's showing them the life they're missing out on. Why are we not talking about this enough? It's the same thing with that negative ocean, Zach, right? When you think about what you're learning in the program, both programs, we're showing the life that she's missing out on. You are valued. You are a valuable relationship. You are giving her everything. So if we look at that hole, filling the hole, mountain and standing on top of the mountain. Okay. When your vision is the marriage that you want, the life that you want, everything you're saving people, impacting the world with, whatever. Okay. That's your vision at the top of the mountain. Okay. The first thing you're trying to do is not, you're describing as not drink her ocean, the negative ocean. Okay. That's just filling in the hole. Focus instead on the mountain. That's going to be you on top. You're going to be on top of the mountain. What is that? What are all the things that I'm creating? And I don't want to be listening to crap and fighting with my wife, so I want to be laughing with my wife. Well, then I got to get over insecurity if it's causing me problems in my relationship, if it's causing fights. That's a me thing I can fix right now. And then I can start actually showing up. So that's your subtract. Maybe you have to add something to become more secure, right? And then from there, well, what am I doing with this new me? This new me, that vision that I see at the top that's laughing with my wife, well, he's showing up in a way that creates opportunities for that. So where are we going? What kind of places do we visit? What kind of activities are we doing? She doesn't want to go. I can still go. We'll talk about this in the other calls, but we show her what life she's missing out on, right? And then she has to rise up with you. Okay? So your first step is not to avoid it. Listen to her. You're there for her. I'm not sure what it is, and we can go deeper on the other calls, Zach. But like, if you think about it, you are providing structure for the future. It's what you're learning in the reset, right? So just right now, it's brand new. That's all. Okay, makes sense. Trying to drink the ocean, trying to drink the ocean, or not to drink the ocean is just choice. You are here. You want to be here. But there's exits everywhere, man. Don't stand by the water cooler and drink the Kool-Aid. You know, if you need to hear your wife, hear your wife. But if you're perpetuating the cycle, we don't enable the bullshit. Okay, but we need to go more into it. As you go through Man with Impact, you'll know more about how to take that out. Okay.
Awesome. Yep.
Cool. All right, guys. Somebody says they have a vision board. Yeah, that's right. You should have one. Interested in the vision board? You know what? I think that people should. This goes in line. He's saying, should we make do a Zoom on creating an effective vision board? Absolutely. Here's the thing. You don't get to do that unless you know what you want. I know exactly what kind of house to look for that I'd be designing because I've looked at a lot of houses and I know I want to design my house. And my dream has a home that I have designed. I mean, I can already pretty much do it without being an architect. I know exactly what it looks like. You know what I mean? That's how skilled you need to be. But do that now, not just a house. Do that now with the rest of your life. The living room is the message. The kitchen is the relationship. Right? Now, again, I want to remind you guys, if you already have it, it doesn't go on your vision board. You already have it. That should be a part of who you are. I'm not going to mess up my relationship. I do not need that on my phone. I love to have pictures in the background. I love to have pictures on my Apple TV rotating. I love seeing the memories and the reminders. But that's not my focus when I'm thinking about my vision. That's what you guys need to understand. If you have it, you move on to the next. You always move forward down that road. Cool? All right. So, guys, it sounds to me like we need to do a little more homework on your vision board. And yes, I like the idea of your vision. I like the idea of doing a meeting on effective vision board. I think it's pretty easy, though. Honestly, when you know what you want, you just go to Google and search it, or go to Canva and search it. I created mine on Canva for my phone. I pick 4 things at a time, always. The next 4 big goals. Right? So that's up to you, though. Some people like a big board. I like to look at mine on my phone all day. See it every time. Now, you have to treat that like a tattoo. You're not going to see it if you've had it for a while. You know? You just won't. You'll no longer remember it's there. So you have to be intentional. Does that make sense? It's really easy to create. Actually, I'll talk about core values. And I think Bill's going to do a presentation for you guys on core values on in Africa. But or maybe I will, whatever. But when you guys think about it like this with core values, it's really easy to say, oh yeah, I believe in integrity. But if you don't look at if you're full of integrity today, if you're integral today, what's the point? How many of you guys have a core value of something, if you even have a core value? Have a core value of something like, oh, I'm just going to love my family, my relationship. Yeah, what does that even fucking mean, man? What are you doing with that? You know, one of the reasons I had the fastest turnaround I ever had when I had that relapse a number of weeks ago was simple. My mentor, one of the guys I've trained, I asked for help. I got on the phone with him, and he said to me, dude, you serve and protect, man. Love and protect like a wolf, man. Snapped. I can measure that. I did not love and protect my wife. Right? Snap me back into reality. Now I can look at the next core value, right? Oh shit, I did not follow through on the man that I would be. Meaning I didn't use my own tools that night. Wait a minute, transparency, okay. I gotta be really transparent with my wife here. This is what I think I was doing wrong and why. Okay, she had mad respect. She didn't have to focus on forgiveness. She could trust me because of who I've been. Okay, some of the things that she said to me were a little bit painful. Well, take home the Oscar. Act like I just got laid. That's consistency. I need to be consistent again. Show up. That's already proven to have worked. I can measure this. I better do it some more. I can follow through where I'm going now. I could just run through them all. You can't just put something arbitrary down. That's why your vision, that's why you never get there. So why don't we do that before we do a vision board thing? Bill, do you want to do a presentation on core values, or do you want me to do it?
Either way, whatever you want, I'll do one. I can talk about core values all day.
I love core values. I think I'd like you guys to speak a little bit. The reason is simple. You guys are all resonating with me, but it's really important to understand that when you embody this, you have the success. You know, you can hear from Bill, you can hear from Dennis, you can hear from Leah, you can hear from people that are doing well, Serenity, if you guys want. Would you guys be interested in doing that? A little bit of presenting here with this stuff? The others, Leah, Serenity, same thing?
Absolutely.
No, I'm in.
Because when you guys understand that this isn't a me thing, this isn't my shit, this is just a what works shit, and it's not my concepts, right? Some of my stuff from the reset's my concepts. Doing a program like Momentum was a build off one of my mentor, Cole De Silva's concepts, right? But I decided to apply it and learn because I keep growing. Did I tell you guys that before, by the way? Growth can't be a core value, in my opinion. Just my opinion, and people will argue. I did a podcast episode on it. But growth happens if you have core values and a vision. You don't have to make that. You don't have to spend time analyzing, am I growing? If you know how to add and subtract with momentum, it just happens. Right? Yeah, James, I hear it the other way around. Growth, James wrote, not growing is not living. I actually hear it, grow or die. You will die if you don't grow. The world will leave you behind. The noise that you are not liking sometimes, you will leave it behind. All the people that you listen to almost often, almost all the time, that are people that are holding you back as you step out of your comfort zone with a program like this, like Momentum with the reset with White Picket Fence, all of those people you will leave behind. Or they will be like, whoa, wait, whoa. I'm sorry, your marriage is on fire. You did what? Oh, shit, the reset? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And you're not going to leave them behind because guess what? They're going to follow you. All of those people that are still depressed and just in their hole, living with the joy that you have. All the people that are fucking up their life because they're drinking too much. Seeing what changes you've made when you got sober. All the people that were like men like me and Steven that hurt their wife. That they see that there's something better. They don't have to be angry anymore. In fact, it's not even about being angry. What do we learn? We're learning that, oh fuck, I was just afraid. I was a scared little boy. Well, those men can change their lives now. You know, one of my posts right now that did super well, 3.5 million or something, just a written post. It was the one I think where I was talking about what would your daughters, if your daughter said to you, they didn't want to have sex with their man, what would you think? You tell her not to, right? It went super viral. And in that post, I was me, lived like a window, fully transparent. I sexually assaulted Kathryn back in the day. And man, there was a bunch of women hating on there. Not a ton. I mean, considering the following, not a ton, right? Considering the views. But I had to say, like, are you serious right now? You want to tell my wife to leave me right now? Regardless of if you think that's real or not. Would you like to save the one? Or how about all the fucking men? Who it's written for, by the way, the men. Women just understand and get it and appreciate it. But it's written for the men who goes, holy fuck, I would tell my daughter that. I don't want my daughter to do that. That means I've been treating my wife that way for a long time. And these women want to tear it down, these hurt women. I get you're hurt. I'm sorry that women like Kathryn and you had to go through what you went through. I don't know your story, but I know my wife's. I'm fucking mortified that I did that. Sometimes people think I'm not. That's just because I'm not that guy anymore. But we got to remember, we stay true to who we are because of the vision, the core values I have now I didn't have back then. The vision of where I'm going, I don't care how much I hurt you now if I can save everyone else. I'm not going to actually hurt you. That's just you taking it personal. But your way's not working. What have you got to lose? Nothing. Nothing. Everybody told me and Kathryn to quit too. And now we get to get real with each one of you. I want to say that again. Everyone told Kathryn to leave me. And people who heard my version told me to leave her. Everyone. Except for a few. A handful didn't. That's the norm, guys. But yet, hundreds of thousands of followers and growing massively around the world. Leading couples and saving relationships. Now we're doing this. You heard about the Christian version. You heard about the finance guy that's going to come in and start teaching guys. There's so many different, geez, we translated everything into 13 languages, 12 other languages. Guys, the power of your story, man. Dig in. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It is dramatic. Think about that. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It already is. Because your little thing or big thing is big to everyone who's experienced it. Because we all sit by the water cooler, bitch and complain to somebody. We all scroll on social media, wasting time until we don't. Sick. Leah, I bet you, I don't know much about your prior to, like your PK, pre-Kathryn, but I bet you spent a lot of time scrolling and talking to people until one day you met Kathryn, and now all you do is freaking work. All you do is mom and work. Is that right? You didn't do it before? Well,
No, not really.
She's the exception.
I've been off social media pretty much for 2.5 years. I cut it out when I left a previous position. I went on a 60-day blackout from social media because I didn't want to see what everybody was saying about me leaving the company, and because none of it was true. And I didn't want to hear what the rumors were. I didn't care. I didn't want to even let them touch me. So I just tuned out and I dove into devotion and prayer during that time. I replaced it then. And I just haven't brought it back. I mean, okay. I personally do some posting, but people will be like, oh, did you see? And I'm like, no.
So that's the point I'm trying to make. See, at some point, we all have to make the choice to just stop and just get out of your comfort zone and just remove it and replace. What did she do? She added.
I did turn the news off. I have turned the news off in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I did that during COVID. I was like, enough. Because it was fueling my rage for losing my gym. Mm-hmm. It wasn't allowing me to take, that was the last thing that happened to me. The last time I blamed someone else, other than when I had my relapse with Kathryn, right? That was the last time. Because on a whole, I can now rationally, logically look at things and go, oh, okay, well, I guess I should have been better with my fucking money when I lost my gym. Because if I did it before I lost my gym, I'd still have a house. house would have been paid off, actually. But we tend to go, oh, the government shut our business down. Yeah, they did. And I do feel wronged. And that was all wrong, I think. But there are still things that I could have done differently. When you can start to do this, guys, you can go, all right, latch onto that vision and go. You know, Shannon, I've been thinking about you a lot because that was really hard for you to talk about where you're at with your kids that day, you know? And it's got to be hard to hear me, someone like me, saying, what else can you do? What else can you do? What else can you do? But look, guys, she's here still. So proud. It looked like Leah was looking right at you because she's next to you on the screen and she turned her head around. I'm so proud. And it was like she was going to look at you and tell you she was proud too. Have to watch her on the recording. It's awesome. Because that's what it takes, you guys. It sucks to hear what you don't want to hear. It sucks to feel what you don't want to feel. So just create adds and subtracts that give you what you want. Know that by figuring out your vision. Dive deep into this. And when you don't know your vision, you have to just start sharing the pain that you're getting through. Document it. I will be able to walk you. I think Dennis is going to say something, but I'm going to walk you through this, guys, with our new part of our story here. I just have to get ready. I just have to prepare myself for this. Okay? So if you are struggling, that's another thing I want to encourage you with is just hang in there. You'll do this with us. We will tell a story. We will talk about pain, and then we will figure out the process. And we will share some of the experiences that we already have that can help us. Anything new that we are bringing in, document. Okay? This is actually unfortunate timing, but great timing, I guess. And I say unfortunate timing because it should never happen. But Dennis.
I just wanted to share a little motivation that goes with what you're saying, Cass. And I'm doing a devotional every day by Tim Tebow for the year, one every day for each year. And one of them yesterday was, if you take the average lifespan and the average amount of steps everyone walks in a day, that's 110,000 miles over your life, which is enough to go around the entire world 5 times. And so if you think about that as a goal of, I'm going to walk around the world 5 times, that seems insurmountable. But it starts with just 1 step a day. And then you reach those goals just by keeping and working. And so no matter where you're at in this journey, whether you know where you're going or not, it all starts by just taking those first steps. And before you know it, you're around the world 5 times. So just,
that's super
stay
awesome.
committed and start making those steps.
That's super awesome. It's ironic because I try to do a lot of work to motivate you guys. But I think motivation is never going to be as you can if you can learn to use pain to motivate, it's going to push you further. I'd have to go look at it, or maybe you, Dennis, or Bill, one of you lords, Troy, remember Cole's presentation for us? I cannot remember, but he was like, pull out your calculator, right? And he talked about, I don't remember what it was. It was something like, how many years do you have left or something like that? That's all you have left. Like, what is that what he did? Was it something like that? Like 85?
It was how many summers do you have left? You average like 7 or 80. And then you subtract it and see how many you got left. And you look at it as summers. I mean, summers, not years, summers. And it resonated with everybody.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jeff. So that's it. Do the math, How old are you? How many years? Like for me, that's what motivates me. I have literally 40 years left to make sure that my 30-year goal of disrupting divorce is done. That these new men and women, children, they all have a different idea of what marriage is. Whether it's my children or yours, whether it's the young men that we want to go help at the juvie hall or the foster system, or the men in the prison. Kathryn's got a woman side of things with Leah. Like there is so much to do. And some of you will feel like this is overwhelming. I just wanted to live. I thought I'd retire at a certain. Yeah, I'm not saying don't live. But most of you, what did Serenity say? You're worried about dying and not even how to live. You don't know how because you don't even know who you want to be and help. Because when you start to feel that, you can start to really live. And along the way, you get to enjoy the ride. Again, most of you come to us because of relationship stuff. Well, I love my life. I love my wife, my family. It's fun. It's fun. All right. Anybody have one last thought before we go? I got to get another call. Even partway up the mountain, the view can be breathtaking. What a great line. Serenity, you should do motivation. I'm going to say that right now. You should. You're really quite talented at writing, and you should. That could be such a beautiful little quote just to put out there and share. I like that. And speak it in your voice. Yeah, James is right. Your voice is powerful. But each one of you have that. She's just been developing that already. That's all. She's just a little more in tune with her story. That's all. So just get in tune with yours. All right. Love you guys. Gotta go. See you later. Bye.
Record.
See you guys.